Alexander the Great, born in Pella, Macedonia on July 20th or 21, 356 BC, was destined for greatness. From the moment of his birth, the stars seemed to align in his favor, marking the arrival of a future conqueror who would change the course of history. His father, King Philip II, transformed Macedonia into a significant power, expanding its territory and influence through both diplomacy and military might. Philip's vision and ambition laid the groundwork for what would become Alexander's vast empire. While his mother, Olympias, was a princess of Epirus, known for her intelligence and fierce determination. She instilled in Alexander a sense of divine purpose and a belief in his own destiny. From these parents, Alexander inherited strategic prowess and charismatic leadership. His father's military genius and his mother's passionate spirit combined to create a leader of unparalleled potential. His childhood was steeped in stories of heroism and divine descent, stirring within him a profound sense of destiny. Tales of Achilles and Hercules were not just bedtime stories, but blueprints for his own life. These early influences laid the foundation for his unyielding belief in his own invincibility. He trained rigorously, honing his skills in combat and strategy, always with an eye on the future. The young prince's formative years were marked by the guidance of Leonidas, who instilled in him Spartan discipline. This rigorous training regimen taught him the value of resilience and endurance. Alexander's curiosity led him to engage in philosophical debates, appreciating cultural diversity. He was tutored by Aristotle, who broadened his horizons and instilled in him a love for knowledge and wisdom. In the Macedonian court, Alexander absorbed the intricacies of governance and strategy. He observed his father's court, learning the art of leadership and the complexities of ruling a diverse and expanding kingdom. This environment shaped him into a leader whose influence would stretch across the known world. Alexander's upbringing, education, and early experiences forged a character destined to leave an indelible mark on history. At 13, Alexander began his tutelage under Aristotle in Mieza, away from court distractions. This period furnished Alexander with knowledge and a philosophical outlook that influenced his leadership. Aristotle introduced him to Homer's, which became a lifelong source of inspiration. Alexander's admiration for Achilles was profound, often seeking to emulate him in valor and honor. Aristotle's teachings on logic, ethics, and governance resonated deeply with Alexander. These teachings manifested in Alexander's approach to ruling his vast empire. The bond between teacher and pupil was profound, with Aristotle's influence lasting throughout Alexander's life. This intellectual legacy guided Alexander's actions and decisions on the grand stage of history. Alexander's early exposure to war under his father equipped him with practical battlefield experience. At 16, he was appointed regent of Macedonia and quelled a rebellion by the Maedi, establishing Alexandropolis. His prowess was further demonstrated at the Battle of Chaeronea in 338 BC. Alexander's brilliant cavalry charge broke the ranks of the sacred band of Thebes, cementing his reputation. These early engagements shaped Alexander's understanding of warfare. He learned the importance of speed, surprise, and psychological warfare. The experience gained in these battles laid the groundwork for his future campaigns. This blend of youthful vigor and strategic brilliance propelled him to the forefront of history. The assassination of King Philip II in 336 BC sent shockwaves through the Macedonian kingdom. The sudden and violent death of the king left a power vacuum that needed to be filled immediately. This tragic event catapulted Alexander to the throne at the tender age of 20. Despite his youth, he was well prepared for the immense responsibilities that lay ahead. Despite the potential for instability, Alexander's resolve was unshakable. He had been groomed for leadership by his father and was ready to take on the mantle of kingship. He swiftly secured his position, consolidating power and ensuring that his rule would not be challenged. Demonstrating his leadership and understanding of the political landscape, Alexander navigated the complexities of Macedonian politics with skill and precision. Alexander eliminated potential threats to his rule, dealing decisively with any opposition that arose. Asserting his authority over the Macedonian nobility, he commanded respect and loyalty from his subjects. He then turned his attention to the Greek city-states, which had long been a source of tension and resistance. These city-states were eager to break free from Macedonian dominance, seeing the young king as an opportunity to assert their independence. Alexander launched a campaign to subdue the Greek states, continuing his father's legacy of unifying Greece under Macedonian rule. His suppression of the Theban revolt was particularly brutal, re-establishing Macedonian hegemony. With his kingdom secured and internal threats neutralized, Alexander set his sights on the conquest of the Persian Empire. This ambitious plan would require not only military might, but also strategic alliances. His strategy was to unite the Greek city-states, forging a powerful coalition that could stand against the Persian forces. With a united Greece behind him, Alexander was ready to launch a crusade against the age-old enemy, marking the beginning of his legendary conquests. In 334 BC, Alexander commenced his campaign against the Persian Empire, crossing the Hellespont. His first significant engagement was the Battle of the Granicus River, achieving a decisive victory. The conquest of Asia Minor showcased Alexander's strategic brilliance and leadership. He secured key cities like Sardis, Miletus, and Halicarnassus, bolstering his reputation. Alexander's campaign was also a cultural and political endeavor, adopting policies of clemency and integration. By respecting local customs and incorporating local leaders, he ensured stability in his newly acquired lands. The victories in Asia Minor paved the way for further advances into the Persian Empire. Alexander's relentless pursuit of Darius III demonstrated his military genius and commitment to his vision. After victories in Persia, Alexander turned to Central Asia, facing harsh landscapes and fierce resistance. He founded cities like Alexandria, Eschate, facilitating control over newly conquered regions. Alexander's approach combined military dominance and cultural integration. The Sogdian resistance, led by Spitamenes, tested Alexander's military acumen. His persistence and innovative strategies eventually subdued the region. The Central Asian campaigns laid the foundation for trade routes and cultural exchanges. Alexander's efforts ensured Greek culture reached far beyond the Mediterranean. In 327 BC, Alexander embarked on the invasion of the Indian subcontinent. The Battle of the Hydaspes River in 326 BC was a notable engagement against King Porus. Despite challenges, Alexander's victory demonstrated his strategic prowess and respect for his adversary. The campaign took a toll on Alexander's troops, who refused to march further east at the Hyphasis River. Recognizing their limits, Alexander agreed to turn back, marking the end of his eastward expansion. The Indian expedition showcased Alexander's ambition and desire for exploration. It left a legacy of cultural exchanges and Greek influences in the Indian subcontinent. After India, Alexander returned to Persia in 324 BC, facing the task of governing his vast empire. He initiated policies to integrate his diverse empire, encouraging marriages between Macedonian soldiers and local women. Managing his satraps was crucial, with allegations of corruption prompting decisive action. Alexander executed several satraps and restructured provincial governance. Despite efforts to consolidate his empire, Alexander faced dissent within his ranks. The mutiny at Opis highlighted the challenges of unifying a diverse army. Alexander's ability to reconcile with his troops reaffirmed their loyalty. This period of consolidation laid the groundwork for the Hellenistic period. In June 323 BC, Alexander the Great died suddenly in Babylon at the young age of 32. His untimely death left his vast empire without a clear successor, plunging it into chaos and power struggles. His death marked the end of a meteoric rise and the beginning of the Hellenistic period, a time characterized by the spread of Greek culture and influence across 3 continents. Alexander's legacy extended far beyond his military achievements. He fostered cultural and intellectual exchange, encouraging the blending of Greek and local traditions. Cities like Alexandria, which he founded in Egypt, became centers of learning and cultural fusion, housing the famous Library of Alexandria and attracting scholars from all over the known world. His campaigns spread the Greek language and Hellenistic culture, influencing societies far beyond the borders of his empire, from Egypt to India. The fusion of Greek and local cultures gave rise to syncretic traditions blending art, religion, and philosophy in unprecedented ways. Alexander's vision of a unified world where diverse cultures could coexist and enrich one another was revolutionary for its time and laid the groundwork for future empires. While his empire did not endure politically, the cultural exchanges and trade routes established during his reign reshaped the ancient world, fostering connections that lasted for centuries. His life and achievements continue to inspire generations, showcasing the power of ambition, vision, and the human spirit's capacity to dream big. Alexander's legacy is a testament to the human spirit's capacity to transcend boundaries, leaving an indelible mark on history and shaping the world as we know it today.